He told the court I was just a housewife. And when his lawyer said it out loud, like it was a fact stamped on paper, my ex-husband actually smiled. Not the kind of smile you give someone you once loved. The kind you give when you think you've already won. We were in courtroom 4B on a rainy Tuesday in late October, the sort of gray day that makes everything feel colder than it is. The benches were full of strangers waiting for their own lives to be rearranged by a judge. The ceiling lights buzzed softly. My hands were folded in my lap, nails trimmed short because I'd been biting them for weeks. And across the aisle, there he was, Grant Whitmore, suit pressed, hair perfect, tie straight. He looked like the kind of man who always had an answer. He looked safe. That was the most brutal part, because the only person in that room who knew what he was capable of was me. His attorney stood, cleared his throat, and nodded toward me like I was an item on a list. "Your Honor," he said, "Mrs. Whitmore has been just a housewife for the last 12 years. She has no meaningful income. She's asking for a ridiculous share of marital assets she did not create. Just a housewife." The words didn't hit me like an insult. They hit me like a trap door. Because it wasn't just a label. It was a strategy. A way to shrink me right there on the record. So everything that belonged to me could be handed to him. My attorney, a calm woman named Diane Keller, with silver hair and eyes that missed nothing, didn't flinch. She just scribbled something on her legal pad, then leaned toward me. "Keep your face neutral," she whispered. "He wants you to react." I swallowed. I stared at the judge, and I reminded myself of the truth. The truth Grant had spent years carefully hiding. Yes, I was a housewife. I also ran his entire life. I built the system that kept his money clean. And if he was about to call me nothing, then I was about to show the court exactly what nothing could do. Because the last 12 years weren't a story of me staying home. They were a story of me disappearing, piece by piece, so he could grow bigger. And I didn't disappear quietly. I disappeared strategically. I met Grant when I was 26. Back then, my name was Claire Bennett. I had a bachelor's degree in communications, a sharp laugh, and a habit of planning my life like a spreadsheet. I wasn't rich, but I was steady. I worked in an event management office in downtown Seattle, the kind of place where you wear black and solve other people's problems for a living. Grant walked into one of my meetings late, carrying a leather briefcase and a smile that made the room tilt toward him. He was launching a new financial consulting firm. He needed a corporate gala. He said my name like he'd already practiced it. "Claire," he said, "I need someone who can make chaos look elegant." I laughed, because that was basically my job description. He tipped well, thanked me like I mattered, and texted me later with a photo of the event and a simple message. "You saved my night. Dinner?" He didn't chase me like a movie. He built a case. Flowers on Tuesdays, a voice message when I sounded tired, a conversation about my goals. He asked questions. He remembered answers. He made me feel like my mind was something he admired, not something he wanted to control. And when he proposed, it was after a year and a half, on a hiking trail overlooking the water, the sky so blue it looked like forgiveness. "I want a life with you," he said. "A real one. A team." A team. That word mattered, because I believed him. We married in a small church with a backyard reception. My parents cried. His mother, Lorraine, smiled like she was approving a purchase. Grant kissed my forehead and whispered, "You'll never have to worry again."